So I have to fix this paradigm subwoofer. It's an actual task I have to do. And I have an actual customer who brought this in. So pretty much this is a paradigm Pdr10 subwoofer. This went along with the old paradigm Titan speakers. I don't know if they're still making like their fourth version of them, but this is one of the older variations. This is the V1 subwoofer, and I'm pretty sure it came with the V2 speakers. And let me just show you the problem that this is having. If the bass hits, I can show you. It's coming up soon. Probably gonna have to skip it a little bit. I'm not sure if you heard that, but there was an obvious rattle in the bass. I'm just gonna turn it up a little bit in the bass just to show you. And I have to reach way back here. And which knob is it? Subwoofer level. It'll be that knob. You obviously heard that, right? This has obviously got a problem, and let me just show you how this is supposed to sound. I'm going to be hooking up to my Onkyo subwoofer, just to show you how the sound is supposed to play. Okay, so here's what the subwoofer is supposed to sound like on the same music. You know how loud this can be. Obviously much better. I know if the subwoofer goes any higher. No, it doesn't. But you almost definitely heard that there was no rattle, and the bass was obviously tighter, because the bass was actually coming from the subwoofer, not just my right speaker and left speaker. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at what's the problem with this subwoofer and if we can fix it. So first up, we're going to have to take this amplifier panel off the back of the speaker, and the good news is this is just held in by screws and no glue, so it's super duper easy to take off. Then we have to unplug a few plugs, and that's all. Okay, so once we've unscrewed the panel, what we can do is we can lift this up, and now I know why the LED wasn't working. I forgot to plug it in. No big deal. Plug it in next time. Unplug these two plugs. The black is plus, the red is minus, and the circuit board there is actually labeled black and red, so I know where they go, so there's no worry about that. The next thing I have to do is remove a whole ton of this pillow stuffing polyfill, I think that's what it's called. Set that all over to the side, and now we've got our woofer, which is held in by, as you can see, more screws. These screws are longer, but there are less of them. But due to the longer screws, we're going to set them in a different place, because they are different. Okay, so after removing all the screws, what we can do is we can lift up our woofer, pull it to the side, and pop it right out of there. And man, that looks really, really, really bad. So as you can see, our problem is quite obvious on Paradigm speaker, which is the speaker on the right, of course. First, let's start off with the speaker on the left. It's an old school car subwoofer made by Sherwin Vega. And notice how the foam can move around, and it's like really, really strong. Like, I'm nowhere close to breaking that. You can see my finger coming up through it, but it's not even close to tearing it. It's really strong. Very good. Piece of something on the cone, but you can just take that off. Now let's move over to our Paradigm, which is sadly the better quality woofer. And you can see what has happened here. So pretty much the front grille on the front is fixed, so no one could have poked out the surround on this thing. Instead, what happened was, I know for a fact that this speaker was sitting in storage, and I also know for a fact that foam surrounds tend to deteriorate when they're not being used, when they haven't been used in a really long time. So that's what's happened here. You'll be able to see, if I press down on that, it's already wanting to break off. See that little line in there? It's already breaking. See, it's almost coming off around the edges. It's actually split. It's not quite coming off. I'm pretty sure the only thing that's holding it together is some remnants of the foam that's still on the speaker driver. But I can assure you this is not how it's meant to look. I can also tell you that what we have to do is replace this particular part, and there are several kits available with this part that you can buy and replace the part with. So that's what I've done, and it should be arriving in a few days. Pretty much we sort of have to peel off all this stuff, peel off this gasket in one piece, scrape off all the remnants of this old surround, then glue the new one on, then glue this gasket back on. So that's what's going to be happening.